Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the hospital from the show, Spongebob Squarepants. Please remember that if you enjoy these videos to hit that like button, I'd really appreciate that. It helps me out so much. And I would also like to point out that I have many SpongeBob builds on the channel, and if you want to check any of them out, you can find them in the card system and the description below. I've made almost all of the major characters' houses, and I'll continue to build them as long as you guys enjoy them. That's the card system and the description below. But without any further ado, let's get started. So before we begin, I can tell you that the hospital only requires a 21 block area by an 18 block area. 21 blocks going from left to right and about 18 blocks going from front to back. If you like, you can make this grid in your world if you are trying to better plan out your build, and it will certainly help you. You will also need all of these materials that I have in my inventory right now. We are beginning with the ones in the hotbar, so please do make sure that you have absolutely every single one of these. I'm sorry if I've forgotten a material that we need later on. I do apologize, I'm very forgetful. Pause the video if necessary, make sure that you got all your stuff, make sure that you know where you want to build it and you have enough room, and if you have made the grid in your world, make your way to the front left hand corner of the grid. And work your way inwards from the front left hand corner of the grid by 2. You want to do 1, 2. Then place a row of 10 spruce wood planks coming up from this particular spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And go to the right of that 10th block by 18. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And connect that 18th block all the way down to the ground. But not only do you want to connect the 18th block to the ground, but you also want to extend it backwards by 14. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And connect that 14th block all the way down to the ground, like that. Then, your next goal is to take this 14th block and extend it across the back of the build and connect it to the front of the build. So if you extend that 14th block to the right so far, and then take the front of the build, the corner, and extend that backwards to meet it, you want to end up with a rectangular shape like this. You then want to take the corner of the rectangle, here, you want to extend it down to the ground using your spruce wood planks. So we are essentially making a nice big box shape, like that. And once you have your box shape, unfortunately, we have to fill it in. Not my favorite thing to do. You want to fill the left side completely in using spruce wood planks, the back side completely in using spruce wood planks, and you also want to fill in the right side and the top of the build using spruce wood planks. So that's the left, back, right, and top filled in using spruce wood planks. As a matter of fact, the only place where there is very much detail at all is on the front of the build, and also surprisingly the roof. So there really isn't much more to say. I am going to continue to fill in the back, then the right hand side, and then the top of the build, and then we can talk about additional features of the hospital. There we go. So do remember that you want to fill in the left, back, top, and the right hand side of the hospital all in using spruce planks. That leaves only one side that we haven't touched. That looks very ominous. This is the front side of the build. So come all the way up to the top front right hand corner of your build. So you're on the front, up at the top right hand corner. Inside of the empty space in the corner, and this requires material we don't have on us, light blue glass, you want to place a light blue glass pane. And then you want to place 7 spruce wood planks left of that pane. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then place a pane. Place underneath that a spruce wood plank. And then go left 1. And then place a pane underneath. And then a plank underneath that. And then left 1. And then a pane underneath that. So what we should have, it looks weird now, but it won't later. We should have something which should look like this. The next thing we want to do is we want to focus on the entrance a little bit more. So now come down to the bottom front right hand corner of the build, which is this spruce wood plank right here. And going left of this plank, we want to place another spruce wood plank. And then 2 on top, 1, 2. So we have 3 planks in total. Then we want to place 4 glass rows going left of this. So that'll look like 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just like that. And we also want to make this a bit more interesting, so we need birch fence, yellow concrete, and item frames. To make this look like doors that you can open, we want to place item frames in the 2 center blocks in the glass, and then yellow concrete inside of the item frames, and left and right of the item frames place birch fence, so that looks like a door that you can actually go into. If you do actually plan on having a door, then I would highly recommend simply deleting the middle 4 blocks there and just adding in an actual entrance. But that's what we want to have. That's kind of a peculiar looking front to the hospital. Now, let's fill it in using spruce wood planks. So all of it wants to be filled in using spruce wood planks. The main part of this hospital is essentially just a box, which we will add accessories onto. The next part of this will be the entrance again, because those are only the doors that we've made. We do have still a large part of the entrance to make. It's made out of it's kind of like half of one of those life rings that lifeguards have. You'll see, which is actually kind of clever thinking about it. You'll see what I mean in a second, but we want to have something which should look like this. And this looks absolutely horrible at this point, but we will make it so much better. Once you've filled in the front, work your way once again down to the bottom front right hand corner of the build, specifically this block. Place in front of it a white concrete, and place a red on top. Place a red concrete up left diagonally, and a white on top, and a white on top of that, and then 1 left. Place 2 red going left, 1, 2, and then 2 white, 1, 2. Go down with the white, 1 with the red, do a bottom left diagonal with the red, place a white down below it, and go left by 2, 1, 2. Place a red on top, and then another one. Place a red going right, and then 2 white on top, 1, 2, and then go right, up, right, up. Place a white going right, and then 2 red concretes, 1, 2, and then 2 white concretes, 1, 2, then go down 1, right 1, down one, right one, down one, place a red underneath, right one, down one, place a white on the ground. So we should have something which should look like this. Now all we have to do is we have to fill this in. So it's quite easy. Where you have the 2 rows of red here on the left, you want to connect them together using red. The space above it wants to be white because we're creating stripes. Up at the top, we want to connect the 2 white blocks together and also the 2 red. And on the right hand side, we want to connect this white block together, this red, and this white. So we just want to have something which should look like this. And just to reinforce this shape a little bit, if you like, you can actually take the red and white blocks that overhang the side and you can extend them back a few rows, if you so choose. It's a small level of detail, but I quite like it. I like the idea of it being like a nice big 3D build rather than just like a 2D build. But that's what we want to have. Now, once you have done that, let's move on to the next bit. So now we want to work our way to the bottom front left hand corner of the build, which is this block right here. And from this block specifically, we want to move right by 1. Place a light grey concrete. Place a light grey concrete on top. And then place 1 up left diagonally. And then 2 on top. 1, 2. And then 1 up right diagonally. And then place 7 on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like that. Then you want to do something then right of the 7th block, place a light grey concrete going right, then towards you. And then go right by 2. 1, 2. And then place a block coming inwards. And then right again, like that. You then want to take that right block and you want to go down by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do a bottom left diagonal and go down by 2. 1, 2. Do a bottom right diagonal and go down by 1. So we want to have this shape right here. Quite a simple shape, really. Then we want to connect this shape together down at the bottom diagonally. So we have these 2 rows of light grey concrete. We want to connect them together in the middle like this, 1 row outwards. So you can see exactly what I've done there. We want to take a row of light grey concrete connecting together both sides. On top of the middle block, we want to place a light blue glass pane. And then we want to place a light grey concrete to the left of that. And then above, and then a light blue glass above it. So we have this shape. And we also want to come up to the top here, and where we have this row of 3 light grey concrete, take the middle block and extend it down by 3 using red concrete. 1, 2, 3. Take the middle block and extend it right and left. And place a white concrete block in each one of the 4 corners, like that. We then want to cover up all of the empty space using light grey concrete. That's the best way that I can describe it. We want to simply fill in all of the empty space in front of the 2 rows that we've made using light grey concrete like this. This creates a 3D shape in front of the hospital, and it's like some sort of like weird pipe. I really don't know how else to describe it. And that's not the British flag, by the way. That's like the red plus that you'd see on hospitals, just in case you're wondering, because I just kind of looked at it and it's like, that's the English flag. Once you've done that, we now want to come to the top back of what we've made. And we want to place... I want to make sure that this is right, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to overdo that. We want to place 3 rows of light grey concrete coming behind these side blocks. So like this block, 1, 2, 3. And this one, 1, 2, 3. And then on the rows above them as well, just to make like a solid shape like this. We then want to connect them together at the back, like this. So we want to connect them together at the back, just one row outwards, similar to what we did earlier to create this shape. What we then want to do is we want to place a layer of grey concrete on top of what we've just made, like this. Just the sides though, on top of what we've made at the sides. These two blocks aren't even necessary, like this. And then we want to use light grey concrete, and we want to place light grey concrete on the outsides of those dark grey blocks until none of the dark grey blocks are visible. But we don't want to overdo it. We don't want the light grey to connect where they don't have to. So you basically just want to end up with this shape. And then once you've done that, on the side of this, we want to place somewhere on the side, kind of like towards the back middle, like you want to locate this block right here and place a grey concrete coming out of this block. I hope that you guys can find this. And then a cobblestone wall, and then place a cobblestone wall on top, like that. But also on top of the build, I'm gonna request that you fill in the top of this using grey concrete, like this. You want to take it's kind of around this block. It doesn't have to be specific. It doesn't have to be specific. You want to take about this block right here and place a grey concrete, followed by a light grey concrete, and then 2 cobblestone wall. 1, 2, like this. There's a lot of like, well, I don't know what else to describe them. There's a lot of like pipes and chimneys and stuff, and that's what a lot of these things are, by the way, just in case you're curious. So that is that specific part. You also want to, on the front right-hand corner of the build, so if you come all the way up to the top front right-hand corner of the hospital, which is this block, you want to move 1 block backwards and place 2 light grey concrete coming outwards, 1, 2, and then 2 coming up, 1, 2, and then you take this middle block and extend it to the right by 2, 1, 2, and then up 1. So we have something which should look like this. Perfect. Now, once you have done that, we now want to add more detail to the hospital, because unfortunately that's not it. Come all the way towards the back of the hospital, and you want to take the top back corner of the hospital, and it's this one specifically. So if you're looking at it from the front, it's the top back left hand corner, this block right here, and you want to place upon it a light grey concrete, and then you want to place a light grey concrete going left of this, and then a light grey concrete going up left diagonally, and then go up by 2, 1, 2, and then an up right diagonal, and then go right by 2, 1, 2, and then place a light grey block coming inwards and then towards you, and extend that block towards you by 2, 1, 2, then move left and in by 1. And you can delete the blocks in the middle like that, because they're really not necessary at all. What we then want to do is we want to take the blocks that overhang the side here, and you want to extend them down by 2 rows. So like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then you want to fill in this empty space below it using light grey concrete like this. We then want to place on top of all of this, well first actually we want to take the front middle part here, and you want to place a glass on the front middle part. And then you want to raise up all of the light grey blocks by 2. So like 1, 2, but all the way around. Like it doesn't just want to be on the front, it wants to be on the back and sides as well. And also connect the block together at the front too. So something like that will look just fine. You also want to fill the top in as well. And we do also want to add some more details. So you want to take the middle block on the left hand side here, and you want to place 2 light grey on top, 1, 2, and then move left 2, 1, 2, and then down 2, 1, 2, and then place a grey concrete block to the left, like that. And then you want to place in this position, so it's kind of like similar to where we were just building. You want to leave a gap of 1 going right, and then place a grey concrete, and then a light grey on top, 1 to the right, and 1 up, like that. So we do want to have a shape which should look like this, and that mirrors very nicely what you would have on the actual hospital itself. Now, if you come to the opposite corner of the back of the hospital now, you specifically want to take this top right-hand corner block. You want to, from this corner, count to the right, and you want to count 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then place a light grey block. Then take this light grey block and extend it forwards by 2, 1, 2, and then do an upright diagonal, and then place, I do believe that this is a special case in which we want to place a glass pane to the right, and then a light grey concrete, do a bottom right diagonal, and go down by 2, 1, 2, and then move left 1, towards you 1, left by 2, 1, 2. And we also want to take these 3 light grey blocks that overhang the build, and we want to extend them all the way down. All the way down to the ground, every single one of them. Like that. We also want to raise up all of the light grey concrete blocks by 1. So, this one, this one, this one. All of these on the left, the right as well, and the front. Connect them together, just like that. We're then going to fill the top of this in using light grey concrete, and we want to place a light grey concrete specifically, I do hate being specific, this block and this block on the top middle. It kind of looks like a creepy face actually, but on top of the light grey concrete blocks you then want to place 2 cobblestone wall each, so like 1, 2, 1, 2. Just like that. Actually kind of looks like a little alien. It reminds me of Plankton a little bit. I don't know what you guys feel about that. But anyway, that is that part of the build. Now we do have just one more detail to add to the hospital. If you work your way to the top back right hand corner again, which is this corner right here, you want to, from this corner, count inwards by 6 this time. We want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Place a light grey concrete and extend it towards you, or forwards I should say, by 2, 1, 2, and then place an upright diagonal and go right by 2, 1, 2, and then do a bottom right diagonal and go down by 2, 1, 2, do a bottom left diagonal and go left by 2, 1, 2. Then place a light blue stained glass pane on the top front middle block, so this one right here, and then place light grey concrete around it and place a layer of light grey concrete all the way on top of all of the other light grey blocks. We then want to add 2 more rows of light grey, so on top of all of this we want to place 2 more rows of light grey. That's 1. And then, as I said, we want to do 2 rows of light grey, just like that. And you can fill the top in as well. Like that. And then we want to take the middle left block and we want to create kind of like another pipe. We want to place 2 light grey concrete on top. 1, 2. Then we want to go right 1 and up 1. So we want to have this sort of shape right here. And this one's a bit different because we now want to take stone slab and we want to place a layer of stone slab going all the way around the top outside of this particular part of the build. So all the way around the top you just want to place a layer of stone slabs to create this sort of effect, just like that, nice and easy. And once you've done that, you'll notice that you actually have a pretty awesome looking hospital. I do like this build quite a bit. I wouldn't say it's my favourite SpongeBob build, but honestly guys, it is a really cool one. If you're making your own bikini bottom, you have to make it. What else can you do? Now, once you have done that, there is only one more building part that I'm going to be showing you guys. This is optional, you don't have to add this. I'm going to show you how to make a little bikini bottom ambulance whilst I'm at it. You need grey concretes, stone slabs, you need lime concretes, you need some glass block, you need some quartz slab, some block of quartz, you need red concrete, and what else do you need, guys? You need buttons and also a block of redstone, preferably, but you can use any red block, it doesn't matter that much. So, I'm going to be building my ambulance somewhere in the front right-hand corner of the hospital, right? And we want to make sure that we've got enough room. I'm going to just be building an ambulance outside the hospital. It can be anywhere, it's up to you. Start off by placing a grey concrete, and then place a lime concrete on top. Extend the lime concrete backwards by by 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then across by 2, 1, 2, and then forwards by 3, 1, 2, 3. Then place a grey concrete, and then extend the light green forwards by an additional block, and then across to meet the other lime green. Take the middle block in your row of 3 and extend it forwards by 1. And then place an upside down quartz stairs in front of it, like this. We then also, on top of the row of 3 lime green, want to place a row of light blue glass, like that. And we want to, behind each of the glass, place a quartz block, except for the middle one because there's nothing to like place it onto. And then place a red concrete behind the quartz. And then 2 more quartz blocks behind each red concrete. And connect them together at the back. Then, you want to place quartz slabs on top of the glass, with a block of redstone behind the middle. And place quartz slabs on top of all of the quartz blocks and red concretes. And fill the center in using quartz slabs like this. We want to leave a gap of 1 behind the grey concretes, and then we want to place an additional grey concrete. So, the grey concretes on the ground, we just want to... this looks so odd. You want to have that. And then you want to place stone slabs underneath every single lime concrete that you have. So, all the way around, just underneath all of the lime concretes, including this one, just like that. That's perfect. And then if you put buttons on the wheels, you'll have your ambulance, and that's pretty much all there is to it. If you wanted to add a door, you could easily add a door back here. Although I wouldn't recommend it, it really is only just for fun, but I mean, you could if you wanted to. And that's pretty much it with the ambulance, ladies and gentlemen. And that's all I plan on showing you in this particular build. I mean, the only thing that I'm going to be doing from this point onwards, and I'll show you guys the end result of it, definitely will, is I'm going to clean up the area a little bit. And I'm also going to introduce a road and a bit of sand around the hospital, but that's pretty much everything. You'll have to figure that out yourselves, because I don't know where you're building this and what your goal is, whether you want a bikini bottom or whether you just want the hospital. So I'll have to, I'll be doing my sand, and you guys will have to figure out how you want to connect things together yourself. So I'll do that, and I'll show you how it looks. And this is what the hospital should look like once it's been 100% fully completed. All I have done is I have deleted all of the awful numbers around the hospital, and I've put in a little bit of a road and some sand as well. Plus I filled in the area behind the entrance to make it look a bit nicer. And that is that, ladies and gentlemen. If you have enjoyed this tutorial, please remember to hit that like button. I'd really appreciate that. It helps me out so much. And if you would like to keep up with all of my other SpongeBob builds in the future, please check out the please subscribe to the channel and click the little bell next to the subscription button to ensure that you get all my stuff sent directly to your sub box. And if you would like to make any more SpongeBob builds, such as the Flying Dutchman, Mrs. Puff's Boating School, you might be able to see Sandy's Treehouse, featuring Tree Dome, and Mr. Krabs' house in the background, and there are many more. Please check out the card system and the description below for my SpongeBob tutorial playlist. There must be over 10 in there now. You can start your very own Bikini Bottom with some very cool builds. And that is pretty much everything, ladies and gentlemen. I greatly appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye! This video subscriber shoutout goes to Rohan Hegney, who left this very nice comment on my video, and that is why you are being featured, Rohan. So, Rohan said, "Hi TSMC, I'm a fan and I watch your videos. I also build the buildings that you've designed yourself. I play Minecraft, and the reason why I watch your videos is because you inspire me to build, and when I play Minecraft, I go on my phone on YouTube and I go to your real life city buildings. I think, and then I watch and I play Minecraft and I follow your easy steps, step by step. By step. Bye." I don't know. There was just something about that comment that I really liked. I really appreciate that, Rohan. I really do. I'm going to leave a link to your channel in the description. I have absolutely I have absolutely no idea whether you have videos yourself. I got a little bit tongue-tied then. But I'll be leaving a link to your channel regardless. Thank you so much, Rohan. I really do appreciate that comment and all of the nice comments that you guys leave on the videos. I honestly do really appreciate that. It might not have been you that got selected this time, but absolutely could be you next time. Like the video, subscribe, click the little bell, and leave nice comments, and maybe it will be you. Thank you so much for watching, guys.